So I want to introduce una as I been don already put them on the screen earlier before. The Apple Computers Inc. Apple Computers. Now the company that now the question where I want to pose am for you, where I want make you, if you know the answer to this question, leave them in the comment section and I go come check them and then I go tell una the story. Okay. Now the logo for Apple Computer Inc. that now the logo now literally an apple where they don't take a bite of the apple. Now the question is, do you know why they choose that logo, and do you know why that apple it get a bite, a small chunk, a cut out from the apple? If you know the answer, leave them in the comment section. That one a small homework I don't give una. Una get 1.5 minutes for put them in the comment section. I want to see who know why this Apple computer they take a chunk for their logo. Apple Computers Inc. Their logo na apple where they where some man don't take a big bite, just one bite of the apple. When I leave an answer in the comment section, if you know why they choose that logo for Apple Computer Inc. So I go come with the answer for una in 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. My country people then.
Number one, my country people talk to listen. Lesson number one, my country people talk to listen. Whether or not you accept, my country people is a force to reckon with. Me, I agree. He's an enemy that is strong. So Ambazonians will thank my country people for the wonderful job. Now, we'll go ahead.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa. We the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror. And your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
So thank una plenty. I hope say una don't get enough time. I know say some of una go don surely go for YouTube to go Google them or go for Google to go find out the answer for that small homework where I be give una. So the question where I be ask una and make I put the homework back on the screen for see attentive students them. So now Apple Computers Inc. their logo that now Apple Computers Inc. they manufacture the iPhone, and for their logo they get now an apple where some person don't take a bite off of the apple. So the question is being say, una know the origin of that logo and why that apple they don't take one bite off the apple. That was the question. So must see if any person don't even attempt for answer the question. So must see. We get Akum Ona Akum Asa. He said the Apple logo is to avoid confusion with the cherry. Fantastic. I like that answer. You are not 100% wrong, but you are also not 100% right. Una the worry, master. Sweet. So we'll get when I first see on the screen, I don't put the comments on the screen. So now boy Pikin, it talks say the bite now forgive the apple, everlasting wound for your body. When I don't craze, when I drink at 4 people, when I can't watch my live broadcast. Okay, now we'll get Bernze. It talks say biting all the knowledge from the computer. Okay, we'll get it's a destroying Ambazonia terrorism. Talk say it's so that we don't confuse it with a cherry. I don't hear that one already. No, you the copy when I do plagiarism for this example I give una. Even though when I get internet and mobile device for our hand, no cheating, no copy work. So we get Nuhu Aliu. It talks say is to prevent people from confusing the overall shape of the apple with some other fruit. Not exactly. I will tell una exactly why in a second, okay? So we'll get Aretha Obenson Macchiato said the bite in the apple is to avoid any confusion with a cherry. I don't know who's how when I go take that one. That's not actually where or why they decide to use Apple as their logo. I could tell you now why in a second. So lion seen escano. It talks it means there is an information only Apple knows. Not only Apple knows. I know the information. It's actually open source information. We all know. Okay. When I give me 1 second. Mencken Tony talks that is to avoid confusion. Confusion about what? So if some person do not take a bite of a cherry, that's the question I'm asking you. Is it only an apple that we bite? I don't know. I know that a cherry is smaller, but technically you can bite off a cherry too. If your mouth is small enough, like maybe a mouse, you can bite off a chunk of a cherry, I guess. So some person, this one, Akumsa, I said, no, I'm not going to read your comment out loud. Nonsense. Because if I read them, I get to go wash my mop. So, Rita, it talks, we do research for Google. When I do research, you people actually read it from Google and then came back and answered the question. When I the thief for daytime, when I the copy Google for can't talk and for daytime, when I the, at least you cheat and then you can't confess. So if we create a black leg heaven, maybe I could just let you in through the window. Okay? Because when a thief, when a cheat, they can't explain them. Now, I go explain them for now. We'll get a male full. It talks the byte represents a byte in computer language, which is the unit of data measurement. Those are all conspiracy theories. Yes, the byte as in BITE is different from the byte as in BYTE. BYT is a computer language a measurement, data measurement, as you've said, which is correct. So, might read one more comment. We get Tanto Goldberg. It say now for avoid confusion with the cherry, and also because the person be like na apple past cherry. When I don't definitely the reason why you people keep talking about cherry because all when I Google them and when I get now exactly the same Google source for all when I answer them thief. When I the thief like Amber thief. Thief. When I go Google it, but that's fantastic. It's all about research, okay? The world's knowledge, it's already available on the internet. You just need to access it, and then you need to understand it, and then be able to apply it, analyze it, and then create something from that knowledge. That's all we need to do. The knowledge is already there. So thank and appreciate and congratulate all man where it take 1 second off the live broadcast. It quickly run, go for a Google, go search the answer before you come back and leave a comment. Fantastic, that's good. And at the end of today, all we will learn something new way when I know we don't ever learn them before. So as I will put the question on the screen, I can't give you the answer right now. Now, this apple and the bite where they take remember bite na BITE, where they bite off the apple, okay? Now, actually, some man, the man, it be like apple. It be been a favorite fruit. And on the day where he die, he poisoned himself and he commit suicide. And on the day where he die, he take a bite off an apple and then leave him on the bedside cupboard and then die. They can't find me for his bed. And the only thing where they be see him, where be noteworthy, now say he take a last bite of the apple and then put the rest of the apple for his bedside cupboard before he die. That's why Apple it decide to take that, adopt that logo. But why Apple decide to adopt that logo? Who was this man and why was he important? So important that one of the biggest computer companies in the world it decide for honor ye by making their logo the Apple and calling their company Apple Computers. Now, because that man, now the person where he invent the computer, all computers that will get them today, now as a result of your work. Okay, now you go ask me, say, who am I talking about and where am I driving towards? Now, make a show now who are they talk about. Now I picture that on the screen. His name, he been Alan Turing. They born him for 1912, he died for 1954. I don't already explain the circumstances of his death, now suicide. He been a British mathematician and they born him for West London. Okay, now he be famous for coming up with the idea of the thinking machine during the Second World War. So, where to be the thinking machine? The thinking machine, it be na a machine where it be invent am in order for solve a specific problem. If we look on our screen, that was the problem. The Enigma code machine. The Enigma machine, it be na the German, their Nazi top secret encryption device, where it means say before the German military, they once send out any message to their military bases, to their ships, their submarines, and their commanders around the world, they be first need for encrypt that message for the way if the message it be interpreted or it be intercepted, if the message fall in the wrong hands, it no go make sense for the person where it go read them. Now only another Enigma machine at the other end, it go fit decipher and decode the message for you for understand. And at that time, for send that message, it could be just one sentence, it could be just 3 words, it could be just a time, or it could be just the location. For example, the German movement of troops during World War II, the German or the Nazi positions for attack, the coordinates, the movement of the British forces and the Allied forces. If they be know, they go encode them in an Enigma machine and then send them over radio frequency, or they send them as a fax or other means. Now, the British, they will tap into this intelligence as the Germans, they will try to communicate, they send messages to their submarines, to their warships, to their military bases, to their aircraft. The British, they will tap into that message, but the messages did not make sense to them. They could not decipher the messages because they were encoded using the Enigma machine. Okay? So now, what will be happen? I say the British, they successfully sink one of the German warship, and before the ship is sink, they will be able to climb on board the warship and recover one of these machines, the Enigma machines, where they know they don't destroy them, because every time where the British or the Allied forces them, they attack the German position, if the Germans they know say they will lose that position, their number one priority it will be nasewiti, destroy the Enigma machine. Before they capture you, before they take over your unit or your ship or your base or whatever, destroy the Enigma machine, because it was top secret. Now, so when the British they finally get hold of an Enigma machine where it still be intact, where they never destroy them, where it still the work, what way they need for do now for learn how it operate, how they fit use them, how they fit manipulate them, how they fit start to send their own messages them, pretending to be Germans, for confuse the enemy, how they will now decipher all the other messages the way the Germans they send them out. That is where Alan Turing came in. They assembled all their bright minds, the mathematicians and physicists and all the people the way they work in the sciences them, for Bletchfield Park, top military base, and they give them all the resources the way they need them. Then they give them the Enigma machine and they tell them, decipher this machine. We need for be able to understand which way the Germans they communicate, and now which that way we need them in order for win World War II. Now, after a few years of working on that Enigma machine, Alan Turing, he be successful. He built his own machine where we call him say the thinking machine. He built his own machine, and that machine now it be able for replicate which way the Enigma code machine it be do am. When finally they fit break the German codes, the very first message where they intercept them and they break them, they decipher the code in the Enigma machine. The message where the Germans will pass them, it be give na the location of one of the British warships, the location and the time of attack made the Germans to go attack that ship for sink am. Now, one of the engineers, the way they be work with Alan Turing for build that machine, because at that time during World War II, almost every single person in Europe, if you not be there on the war front in the fight war, you must get a family member with there. Either your papa there on the war front, or your mommy, or your sister, brother, uncle. You must get family members with the day on the war front because the world was at war. So this engineer where he be the work with Alan Turing because he be the work with the team. That particular engineer, ye brother, ye only brother, he be there on that ship where the Germans they be the plan for attack them, and they be the plan for attack that ship now the next day. So once they break the code, the Enigma code, that man it translate the message, it decode the message, he know the time where they go attack that ship, he know the name of the ship because his brother there on board the ship, he know the ship and he know the people the way they there on board, and he know say they go kill your brother on this day at this time. It get less than 24 hours. So this engineer be so excited, say they don't finally break this message. It be glad, say it go finally, it go save your brother alive. But guess what? They take you for one corner. They tell you, say, now where they don't break the Enigma code, that has automatically become the greatest top secret, top secret in the world. The Germans must never know that we can break their codes. The Germans must never know. Even the British must never know that we can break the code. Only a handful of people, the top secret, and I talk about from the Queen himself to the Prime Minister himself, and then the Secretary of State for Defense, and then one or two generals, them like the First Sea Lord and the Chief of Defense Staff. Now only them supposed to know, say we fit break this code. And then now, they go now need for prioritize the messages the way they go break them. Or even after una don't decode a message, una know, so the Germans, they go attack this ship on this date at this time. Yes, let them attack it. But you know, and this engineer was confused. He don't understand why. But then now a bit difficult now for explain that for you. Say, wait away with the play. Now a game for win a war. It is not about winning a battle. So in a war, you will get many battles. Then, for example, during World War One, the Germans they be control Cameroon at that time. German Cameroon. The Germans they be control Togo. The German Togoland, okay? The Germans, they be there for, I think, East Africa, German West Africa, something like that. The German Empire, they be get territories and colonies around the world as well, okay? So, and Germany will fight on the Western Front. They will fight for Europe in France. They will fight in the UK. They will fight against Russia. They will fight all over the world. So those are all battles. The battle for German Cameroon, the battle for German Togoland, the battle for the Britain, the battle for France, the battle for Poland, the battle for the Western Front, the battle where they will fight against the Russians. The Nazi army were fighting many different battles all around the world. So, what way you need for understand and say you want for win the war, not for win a battle. Now, a combination of battles, then if you win many battles, then where if you make a now you win the war. So sometimes the day where you go deliberately sacrifice a battle, you could deliberately sacrifice something to your enemy in order for achieve a greater goal. Now, what is that way the British they will play at? They say, okay, that ship where the Germans they plan for bomb them tomorrow. Yes, may they bomb them, may they sink them. Yes, but they get 400 people them on board. Yes, may they die. That is a sacrifice we are prepared to pay in order to win the war. Because we no fit afford for let the Germans they know say we fit break the Enigma code. If suddenly the British they start to mobilize, they start to move the positions of their military, they start to do some kind of counter offenses and start to make some kind of maneuver where it go indicate to the Germans say they so they don't break the Enigma code. Then which way the Germans then too they go do that, so which they go adapt. Maybe they could change the codes, the coding system. Maybe they could build a different Enigma machine where it could become now impossible for the British. Then now it could set the British then back another 2-3 years for go back in the lab for go invent another machine for Breckham. So that is the logic. Sometimes the day where you get to sacrifice something where it be very dear to you for achieve a greater goal. So when Anglophones they be kill themselves, when the Amber terrorists they talk, they made a lockdown, we they propagate the lockdown. Yes, it go disrupt Anglophone people, their businesses there. They say me they behead people, they made a cut picking their hands. Yes, that is all sacrifice for build the massive momentum where we don't build them today. It arrive at the critical mass way. The same population where they become on March for September 2017, the same population now they sell out the Amber terrorists. When the military can't kill the terrorists, while people the day out on the streets, they jubilate, they celebrate. That is what we are talking about. That's where we are aiming and where we are going. You get to understand that it's not just about winning one small battle, but we have our eyes on winning the war. With the Blacklegs, we have a war where we fight them against the Ambazonia terrorists. Okay, so it's not just about some person who can't talk say, oh, we don't kill one gendarme, so what? Oh, we don't kill one Blackleg. Yes, those are all small sacrifices. Then, if you look at the bigger picture, now so when I want to do a little bit more research, if I look on the screen, that is a poster of a blockbuster movie that came out a few years ago. I don't know if you remember the year, but it don't be more than 5 years. The name for the movie now, The Imitation Game, by this guy Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley, the star in this movie. This movie is about the life and the works of Alan Turing. Now, basically, his story. And if you now see those calculators or those clocks the way they did behind your head for that movie, now the actual thinking machine that will be built, it was the size of a whole room just to decipher the Enigma machine. That is the origin of the modern day computer. Because that machine, the whole idea of that machine was to make the machine do what the human brain can do, but a lot quicker and faster. It will process mathematical problems then a lot quicker than the human brain could do it. And from that gadget, the other devices they come up, the scientific calculator, and then from there now we get uh, uh, um, computers then, and then today we get mobile phones and all of those things, and now we send we get everything now be computerized. Even your microwave oven for your kitchen, it be computerized. Your fridge, you get computer today. Even your watch, my watch now computer, you get WhatsApp, everything. If person call me, I dey answer them from my watch. It connect to the internet and all of those things. So that is the origin of modern day computing, the thinking machine, Alan Turing, Apple Computer Inc. I hope so all we would learn something new today.